The next episode of our Azami series is here, and we're going to be taking a look at the best Azami spots on Bank. Now make sure to drop down into the comment section, let us know what the next map you'd like to see in the series, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So without me talking anymore, let's get started. Alan from the Dangleberries once again here with Elevate to take a look at the best Azami setups on Bank, starting off down inside the basement inside the server room for this really sick one-way angle onto the dirt tunnel. Now what you do here is you place the first barrier on the right side of the desk, exactly where I've pinpointed, and then by jumping up onto the desk, looking at that rack on the ceiling where the wires are running across, you can place a Kiba barrier on the side of that, and what this allows you to see is their waist as they're coming through the dirt tunnel, and they will not be able to see you at all. Now you'll be able to see here from the other perspective as well. I will show what it looks like. It is literally impossible for them to get a shot on you unless they crouch through the tunnel as they're coming in, and you will have a really strong power position to take them out. Now of course you're going to need to make sure to reinforce the hatch, and you can add a third barrier over on the right side next to the server rack, and what this allows you is you can have an extra teammate here to give you that extra cover, and you can really use this server room as a stronghold to stop the attackers pushing in. Moving over into CCTV for this next setup, and this one was used in the Pro League, and it's a really strong setup to have to stop them getting that default plant down. If you place a Kiba barrier on the backside of the bomb chassis here, and I'll show you exactly, you know the spot that they come in, they break open that single wall and they try to plant the diffuser right on that ping. Now what you can do is if you go back towards the garage and make a hole in the wall in the red hallway right where I've put that ping, and then go out into the garage and make a second hole. Now what you can do then is go back towards the red hallway and place a Kiba barrier above the door. Now what this Kiba barrier does is it not only protects from the hatch if they get it open above your head and anyone is sitting in red hallway, but it also covers you even more when you're out inside that garage looking through towards the plant. Now this is so strong because it's so difficult for them to see you, and you have a perfect little angle right onto where they'd be crouching down and planting the diffuser. Now of course there is the risk of someone pushing garage, so you're going to need some backup for anyone sitting out there, maybe some intel with cams to let you know that there's someone pushing into garage, or you could have a setup out here as well that I'm going to show you, and this is a really sick one and I've been using this recently and it's so much fun. So if you jump up on top of this little container here and place a Kiba barrier on the light of the truck, you can run and vault up on top of the truck. You can then place a second barrier onto the mirror on the front of the truck right on the ping that I've put on screen, and you'll be able to see over the top of this barrier for anyone pushing into garage. Now the reason why this is such a really strong barrier up here on top of this truck is because those shutters are coming down halfway in the front entrance of garage. They will not be able to see you as they're crouching down to come into garage. Moving up onto the top floor CEO for a couple of setups here. So normally you'd have the head holes on top square. On this couch you'll see these small seams on the couch. You can place a barrier right on the middle seam of the couch. Then you can go back to the second one right here and place another barrier on the third seam, and then by making some head holes in the soft wall right in front of you, you'll get an angle over the sides of the barriers and over the side of the A bomb chassis all the way out to top square. It's just a really strong setup to help protect yourself moving around the site, and also to give you angles onto top square. Now you can also swing over to the right hand side of the barriers to get them as they're coming in the doorway. And moving over into the conference room for these next couple of barriers. Now this first one is at the very end of the conference table, and it's for the janitor door protection. So right on the edge of the table, if you place the Kiba barrier, you can jump up on top of the table and get an elevated angle over the top of the barrier onto the door. You just need to make some holes in the wall so you can see right onto the door frame as they're pushing down the hallway from top square. Now you can expand on this by putting a second barrier on the top of the frame of the door inside janitor, which will give you almost like a one-way angle as you're sitting up on top of this desk. You can see here you just literally place it as normal up on the very top of the door frame right here on ping, and then when you go back in and you sit up on top of the table, you'll see what I mean, that it's almost a one-way angle as people are pushing towards the door. They will have to crouch in order to be able to see you sitting up there, so it already gives you an advantage at taking out the enemy. And you'll see here from the other perspective, when you're coming up to that door, of course you're going to try and hit the keypad barrier off, but by the time you're trying to reach that door and swinging out to hit it, you'll already have been picked off by the person sitting on the table. Now, to help protect yourself from this elevator hall door coming into conference, you can place another keypad barrier on the edge of the table, which will give you that protection when you're sitting up on top of that table. And you can also turn around when you're sitting up here and get angles out into the hallway. So another bonus little barrier that you can use up inside the CEO, I put this in a recent video, this spawn peek that you can do. If you place a keypad barrier on the second shelf of the turned over unit, you can run and vault up on top of the unit. You can then break the very top corner of the window and you can see all the way down to the jewelry spawn. Within a second of them spawning in and walking forward, you'll be able to pick some of them off. And you can also drop down onto this little table and break the window a little lower down so you can see even further down towards that jewelry spawn. Moving downstairs into the open area for this little bit of a setup. So what you can do here is on this door frame here, if you look at the second line on the filing cabinet and place a keypad barrier on the door frame exactly where I pinpointed, you'll leave a small gap above the door frame. So what you can do here is right on this little mark on the top of the door frame, if you add a second barrier, you'll leave a tiny small little pixel gap in the top of the barrier. You can then vault up on top of the little container on the right and run across the top of the filing cabinets, and you'll be able to sit up here and have a really nice angle onto the window. So when they're trying to make their way in this window, they will not be able to see you up here until they fully swung out into the window view. Now you can also make holes through the wall into kitchen all the way out towards electrical. So I'd advise putting head holes all the way across electrical, so when they're pushing in that door, you have a really strong power position to take them out. You'll see here from outside the window, like they're fully swinging in, you still can't see that little pixel gap up there, and you'll be able to catch them off guard and get some easy picks. Now just a little bonus one up here as well, this is a protected angle for anyone trying to swing that door in from the main hall. You can just put the keypad barrier on the side of that little half wall, and you can use that as well for angles over the top of it as they're peeking that doorway. So that's it for the video today, guys. Here's just a couple of extra bonus angles. If you really want to get aggressive up inside stockroom, you can place a couple of keypad barriers on the desks and use them to really push them back if they're trying to make that play into stockroom. But don't forget to go down into the comment section and let us know what the next map you'd like to see in the series, or if there's anything else tips and tricks wise you'd like to see on the channel, let us know down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we upload our next video. And if you have not got your hands on any of the Elevate bundles, make sure to head over to the R6 shop and check them out. The most recent one being the Maverick bundle. It is fire. The operator card, weapon skin and uniform is amazing, so you're going to want to get your hands on that. It will elevate your game for sure. So until next time, I'll talk to you in the next one.